Live, and first one up is Lucas and Bernard Simnach. I got Bernard here. Have a good night, Anna. And Lucas for application number 21-065.
How you doing? Need your name and address for the record, please?
Sure. Good evening to the board. Bernard J. Zimonach, 1909 Great Neck Road, Copiague, New York, 11726.
Okay. And do you affirm to tell the truth?
I do, yes.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated June 1st, 2021. Environmental control memo dated June 1st, 2021. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. Survey by Michael Scalise dated May 18th, 2020. Tax map acting as an area map. Anything else, Brian?
And sorry, Mr. Chairman, 3 photographs as well as a set of plans by JL Drafting, Norman C. Locke, dated December 20th, 2020.
What would you like to tell us about the application?
Good evening. So in essence, what we have is my clients had purchased the house not too long ago as by the submitted deed. And the setback is very minimal. What we're asking is for minimal variance. It's going from 6 feet to 4.9 feet. The pool was constructed prior to 2001, according to the satellite imagery, as you see there. My apologies, my son is in the background.
Yeah, it's okay.
And what we have, it's the rear setback that we're looking to reduce in order to have the CO issued for the semi-in-ground pool. It's in conformance with the community. The benefits achieved, they really can't be achieved by any other way. They would have to remove the whole pool, set it back to the proper setback. No neighbors really have approached my clients. They haven't said anything, not that I know of. And there's really no negative impact on the physical or the environmental conditions to the neighborhood at this point. I'm going to put myself on mute. And that's all I have for the board.
Okay, thank you. I'll turn the hearing over to Ms. McCullough.
Okay, Bernard. So the pool was there when you purchased the property? Well, when the
Correct. I have my client Lucas. He's in one of the boxes I see down there. But according to what they told me, the pool was already existing when they purchased the premises. Yes.
Okay, so what brought you in today? Are we reselling or are you just trying to legalize?
No, they're just trying to legalize so they can get escrow money back from a
Got
closer.
it.
Yes.
Okay. All right, I have no further questions.
Any other questions from the board?
Okay.
We have nobody, right, Brian?
No, we do not.
Okay, so we're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision. We're going to hold the record open for 1 week because we're doing these virtual, and then you'll get the decision in the mail.
Okay. Thank you very much to the board.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a great evening. Thank you.
Good night.
Missed that.
It's pretty funny.
I'm going to bring in Kerry and Nicholas for application number 2. Guys, I have a couple other people registered, so let me know if we're missing anybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good
Is your
evening.
name and address for the record, please?
Sure. My name is Nicholas Pfluger, Boulder Pfluger Architects, architect on the project, 85 East Main Street, Bay Shore, New York, 11706.
Okay, and Carrie? You guys
Hi.
gonna speak? Okay, need your name and address for the record.
Harry Bajpai, 48 Shore Drive South, Copiague, New York, 11726.
Okay, and do you all affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
Okay, for the record, on application 21061, we have a planning division memo dated June 1st, 2021. Environmental control memo dated June 1st, 2021. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A Suffolk County Planning Memo dated May 20th, 2021. Decision of local determination. Take no position for or against. We have a survey by Michael Scalise dated August 26, 2020. Tax map acting as an area map and
And a set of floor plans by Nicholas Fluger dated January 13th, 2021, and a set of 4 photographs, Mr. Chairman.
what would you like to tell us about the application?
Yes, you should also have consent letters that we submitted by email from neighbors, just giving their consent and no objection.
We're not showing that in correspondence.
Yeah, we don't have it in correspondence.
Okay,
Do you have anything in there? No?
Yeah, I mean, I have them here. I can always email them again. I can also share my screen, but they were emailed, I believe, either yesterday or today.
Are they all in favor of it?
Correct, yes. And I'll show them here.
You can email them in and we'll make them part of the record.
Sure. I also emailed in some aerials of surrounding neighborhoods or surrounding properties. You should also have that.
What time were they emailed in?
My office manager did it, so I can't tell you exactly what time.
The agenda closed around 2 today, so.
Yeah, I believe it was before that. I believe it was actually yesterday that she emailed them in.
All right, so we'll keep the record open for a week, so that'll all be submitted.
Okay, and I'll show them here. I'll share my screen in a minute. So yes, we're here requesting a variance to construct a 2-story addition resulting in a 29.8% lot coverage where the allowable is 15%, and for a 3-foot side yard setback for a shed where 10 foot is the allowable. The addition, the 2-story addition will comply with all other zoning regulations for Zone A. And much of the additional lot coverage in the request is made up of an existing deck, existing patio, and existing in-ground pool, in which, of course, the deck is permeable, where water can pass through. As I said, we have letters from 4 of the neighbors stating that they have no objection and give their consent to the project. I believe the board should be in possession, which I just asked. The properties that gave their consent is 50 Shore Drive, 52 Shore Drive, 55 Shore Drive, and 57 Shore Drive. We feel that the proposed lot coverage is in line with several other houses in the neighborhood and conform to the general character of the surrounding properties. And I'll share my screen now. Second.
Can we swear her in too?
Yeah, we could do that. Not sure how well that would go. So here we have an aerial. Here's the subject property here, 48 Shore Drive in blue, and then the yellow are some examples that I outlined. So first going to 55 Shore Drive. Excuse me, 52 Shore Drive, which is here. I have a close-up of it here. You can see how much of the property is covered, and using the Suffolk County GIS map, where you can measure distance and square footage, at least approximately, but it's relatively accurate, which I've used before here to the board. We came up with a coverage of the house, the patio, and the pool at about 40% of the existing lot. Then going to 44 Shore Drive, we come up with a coverage for house, patio, and pool of 32.8%. Going to 55 Shore Drive, and come up with 33.4%. 25 Seaway Drive, which is just the next block over, 36.3. 317 Lagoon, which is behind the subject property, 33.7%, and 4 Lagoon Court. Again, it's approximately behind the subject property. We have that at 36.9%. And again, for our proposed lot coverage that we're asking for is 29.8. And there are actually several other examples in the neighborhood that are in line with these numbers, and frankly, there are too many to present all of them to the board. And then just looking at the request to maintain the existing shed at a 3-foot setback, it was hard to actually measure size and setback distance off of the GIS map, just because obviously sheds are smaller, and to measure those setbacks would be very, very difficult from an aerial. But some properties that certainly have similar characteristics in terms of the shed are 23 Seaway Drive, 44 Shore Drive, 25 Seaway Drive, 50 Shore Drive, and even this one here, 4 Lagoon Court. As you can see, there's an accessory structure here that is pretty much right on the fence, as is the next door neighbor at 6 Lagoon Court.
Let me just ask you a quick question.
Yes, please.
All of these examples that you're giving us, were any of those approved by this board that you know of?
Not that I know of. We actually did put in some FOIL requests a couple weeks ago. We didn't get anything back as of yet.
Okay.
So we did try to get that information, but we weren't able to verify if there were any variances for these properties.
Okay, that's fine. I just a question.
And just the last point, we believe that this addition will not have a negative effect on the neighborhood, and the addition is in the rear of the house, so you can't even see it from the street. And that pretty much concludes the presentation. And if the board has any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Thank you. I'll turn the hearing over to Mr. Dellavecchia.
Oh, it's 2 sheds, correct? Not 1?
There are 2 sheds. The one shed is under 100 square feet.
Okay.
And we were proposing to actually move that shed to a 2-foot setback. We actually put in a supplement application showing that with a site plan showing that.
Okay. If either of these sheds were to be rebuilt or moved, would you agree to put them in a conforming location?
I think I speak for the clients when I say yes. If they were to be rebuilt, they would 100% put them in the proper location.
Okay, and would you agree to not further enclose the decks from above or below?
Yes.
All right, then I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from the board?
Good.
Anybody? We don't have anybody, right, Brian,
Do not.
to speak?
No, we do not.
For the record, there are no respondents. Okay, we're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision, but we're going to keep the record open for 1 week because we are doing these by video. We keep it open in case there are any further comments. You can submit anything that you want to submit within that week also.
Yes, I'll make sure I send the consent letters, and actually just before you go, I can just so you can see them and have them on record. If I can find them. They're here. So we write up just a little consent letter just stating what the variance is, and you can see 50 Shore Drive, 52, 57, and 55. But we'll make sure that the
Yeah,
board
if you
has
send those in, we'll make them part of the record and they're
Absolutely.
part of what we look at. So that's good. No problem.
Great.
Thanks, everybody. Good
Thank you
luck.
very much. Have a good night.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, for application number 3, I'm gonna bring in Jamar. I believe that's, give me a sec. Just Jamar on this one. Oh, you're muted, sir.
Name and address. You're on mute. Name and address for the record.
Yeah, Jomar Pimentel, 127 Albany Street, Deer Park, New York, 11729.
Okay, do you affirm to tell the truth?
So,
Do you affirm to tell the truth?
hello?
Do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay. For the record, we have a planning division memo dated June 1st, 2021. Environmental control memo dated June 1st, 2021. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. Survey by Christopher Buckley dated November 6th, 2019. Tax map acting as an area map and
And one photograph, Mr. Chairman, sorry. And a set of plans dated November 28th, 2020 by Zubair Kazi.
okay, what would you like to tell us about the application? What would you like to tell us about the application?
Yeah, we are applying to put a second story extension at the back with a second story deck. And we will put a enclosed patio in the side of the house. And also we are extending 2 feet in front of the door of the house.
Okay, thank you. I'll turn the hearing over to Mr. Correcchia.
Good evening. And the purpose of this proposed extension on the second story is for bedrooms or extended kitchen, or what is the purpose of that extension?
We are extending the kitchen and also the master's bedroom.
Master bedroom? Okay. Underneath the extension is going to be open?
It will be open.
Okay. And you would agree not to further enclose that underneath the extension for further living area, correct?
Yeah, correct. Yes.
All right. And what is the purposes of a 38-foot carport on the side of the home? That's pretty
So-
extensive.
So I'm extending it, so that during winter time, at least it will be open in there. It will be enclosed, and I can easily get to the front of the house coming from the back with my snowblower.
You need 10 feet for a snow blower, 10 feet wide. That's pretty close to your property line. You could fit 3 cars into there. Is that the purpose of storing cars, or?
Not really.
Okay, what is the purpose? Just to have access in a covered area during
Over
the
there, yeah, and
bad weather?
in bad weather, and also if during winter time I can put also my car in there. At least
Well, you
I
have
don't
you have a 2-car garage and 2 or 3 more spots on the driveway. How many cars do you have?
I have 3.
3 cars. So really, that's really unnecessary to store cars on the side and, for a covered area just for bad weather. That's a pretty big, it's 38 feet long and 10 feet wide. So I think that's a bit excessive. But you'll agree not to enclose underneath the second story.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I have no further questions.
Any other questions from the board? Okay, we have nobody on this, right, Brian?
No, we do not.
Okay, so we're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision. We're going to keep the record open for 1 week for further comments, and you will get the decision in the mail.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you too. And bring in Mr. Kevin Wallace and Charles Broody for application number 4.
Name and address for the record.
Charles Broody, architect, representing the property owner, 30 Bethesda Lane, Salem, New York, 11782.
Okay, I do affirm to tell the truth.
Yes, I do.
Okay, for the record, I have a planning division memo dated June 1st, 2020. Environmental control memo dated June 1st, 2020. They're both, that was 21. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. Survey by Bruce Morel dated July 22nd, 2014. Tax map acting as an area map, and
3 photographs, Mr. Chairman, as well as a set of plans drawn by Charles Brody, and they are dated February 3rd, 2021.
I think I smell hope I'm not burning it.
what would you like to tell us about the application?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. As stated in the call, the homeowner seeks permission to construct a second-story addition for a master suite, which is over the front portion of the house, and seeking approval for a non-conforming side yard setback of 9.8 feet instead of 10, a front yard setback of 24.7 instead of 30, and according to the item number 3, a total side yard setback of 18.2 with a 2-foot overhang instead of the required 25. In reference to the addition, it is conforming in the area and will not create anything different to the relatively similar houses in the area and on the block.
Okay, turn the hearing over to Ms. McCullough.
Okay, so you're going straight up with this addition.
That's correct, over the front portion of the house. Yep.
Okay, and there's just going to be a slight overhang in the front.
Correct, a 12-inch overhang, which comes out approximately the same distance as the existing bay windows that are on the front of the house.
Okay. And
You want mute so I can.
I'm fine with that. I don't have any questions.
Can I make a comment with this total side yard? I'm a little confused on that only because with the project itself, it conforms to the total side yard setback. So I think, and I don't know how Babylon does that, but I think they are taking the existing house as it's sitting on the property.
Yes.
Yeah, he's right. But I think basically what they're pulling from is the 9.8 and then the existing setback equaling your total. So because we're touching, well, not really touching, but because that non-conforming setback on the east side is being changed, it essentially triggers the change to the total side yards. That's my interpretation. I'm sorry.
I see. But in reality, we are conforming with the addition on total side yard setback.
Yes, the addition, sorry, will have a conforming west side yard. That is correct.
Correct. Thank you.
All right. I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from the board?
Good.
We have nobody, right, Brian? We're good.
No, we do not.
Okay, so we're going to close the hearing, reserve decision. We're going to keep the record open for 1 week because we're doing these virtual in case any comments come in. And you will get the decision in the mail.
Okay, very good.
All right, good luck.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you, guys. All right, I'm going to bring in Deidre and Evans for application number 5.
Did you name and address for the record?
Deirdre Cicero, counsel for the applicant, 108 Terryville Road, Port Jefferson Station. Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening.
Good evening.
We're here to present an application.
Okay. Hold on a second. Let me just read these stuff into the record, okay? For the record, on application 21062, we have a planning division memo dated June 1st, 2021. Environmental control memo dated June 1st, 2021. You have a copy of this? There's some questions about it, and if it was approved, there's certain conditions that would be imposed. Did you
Yes, I did receive a copy of
You
that.
received that copy? Okay,
Yes.
that's good. I have a survey by Elizabeth McQuilkin dated February 10th, 2020. Tax map acting as an area map. I have 10 photographs. And I also have a letter from Doria Dixon, opposed to the application. She lives
And
at
number 4 as well, sir.
number 4 too.
That's from their expediter with photos.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I have all these photos. Okay. Yep. Okay. What would you like to tell us about the application?
So we're seeking to build a single-family dwelling on a vacant parcel. It is a 50-foot wide parcel. I would like to go through, I saw the planning comments, and basically they wanted to know about the substantial character neighborhood and see if it complied with the character and nature of the neighborhood. If I could share my screen, I have a better aerial of the.
That's fine.
I don't have, oh, there it is. Okay, can everybody see that?
Yep.
Okay, so where my pointer is the vacant lot on 19th Street and Lee Avenue. It's a corner lot. You have pictures that support all this, but I'll kind of show you the aerials first to give you the nature and character of the neighborhood. The lot right next door on 50 Lee is a 50-foot wide lot, pushed over to one side of the lot closer to a lot line and left a bigger side yard on the other, kind of what we're proposing here. Number 44 over here on Lee Avenue is basically the same situation we would have with the corner lot. House is set back further and toward the side lot line on the interior portion, which would create a better visibility of that corner, and the side street, the house further away from the street. And if we move over towards this way on Lee Avenue, on the corner of 17th, we have a situation where the 250 foot's right next door to each other. And then the third house. So that would kind of create that same block over here should the application be approved. Those are the easiest to see from here. If we go through the pictures, there are about 18 lots. 13 of them are directly within the 500-foot radius that all have 50-foot wide frontage. 5 of the other ones are just outside that 500-foot line. So it creates the nature and character of the neighborhood. Like I said, 44 Lee is the exact same situation of kind of what we're looking to build. 50 Lee is the house next door. I just showed you 66 and 68 Lee. 101 North 116th Street, just outside the 500-foot area, but that's also a 50-foot lot. And I'll just list the rest of them for you. 124 North 17th Street. That one does look like it's a bigger lot, because there is a lot next door with a garage on it, but they're actually 2 separate tax map numbers, and it was built under the 50-foot lot. 126 North 17th Street, 128 North 17th Street, 128 North 18th Street. That house that's a little bit more particular, it shows a small side yard just as we're proposing here, as well a porch on the side yard. 136 North 19th Street, 137 North 19th Street, 138 North 19th Street, 140 North 19th Street, 149 North 20th Street, 150 North 20th Street, and then the next 3 are again just right outside the 500-foot radius. It's 158, 163, and 171 North 21st Street.
Let me just stop you for a second. I
Sure.
apologize. So do you know if any of these were with approval from this board?
I do not. We submitted some FOIL requests. We haven't received those back. I'm giving you those as the nature and character of the neighborhood.
No, I get that, but it's just, it's a question that, we
Yeah,
always.
Absolutely. I understand that question. And as you can see from the photos, that they all are basically those 2-story kind of looking similar type of houses. So this house that we're proposing, although a little bit more modern, definitely fits within the nature and character of the neighborhood. It wouldn't be creating an adverse impact in the physical or environmental nature of the neighborhood, as the setbacks have been existing in these neighborhoods for all these years. You can tell they're not new houses, but the type of neighborhood has been created based upon what has already been built there. It seems from the upzone, not really much has changed. Obviously, the intent of an upzone is to eventually get to a point where most of the lots are conforming in the area, but it doesn't look like this neighborhood has changed much from the time that upzone has happened, to not approve this 50-foot to be in conformance with the rest of the neighborhood. Where we have the house situated, there's not really another feasible alternative. We have it situated closer to one of the side yards based on where the septic system has to go. If necessary, we could slide the house over, but then the cesspool would be under the driveway, which obviously is not the most ideal situation. And it also, the way it's situated, creates more of an open and visible corner between Lee Avenue and 19th Street, kind of setting it back and towards the one side. This property, although it's not single and separate, was kind of created as a separate lot by the county. It was a separate tax map as the one that it was merged to at some point. Whoever purchased this vacant parcel lost it to the county to taxes, and it was sold by the county to my client. Although it is substantial, the variances we may be asking are substantial and multiple variances. As you can see, the house does meet the nature and character of the neighborhood. So should the board have any further questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Right, so evidently there was a number of other applications made for this property and they were denied. Can you talk to that at all?
Well, we did foil this piece of property and we didn't receive anything back in the foils that it was denied. And the other thing that would be weird to me is I don't think we had to ask for a rehearing. We were able to just submit our application. Normally, if there are multiple applications that have been denied, you usually have to ask for a rehearing and create a substantial change in an application to be able to be reheard by the board.
But this is a different applicant, right?
It is. I just know in most other municipalities, just because the applicant has changed doesn't mean that they would accept the application.
Right.
But we didn't receive any of those denials in the FOIL requests that we did on this parcel that we did receive back.
Okay, so you don't have any information on why they were denied and, what the situation was with those?
I do not know.
Okay.
And it was odd because it wasn't in the planning report either that I received.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. There's a number of covenants and restrictions and conditions. If we were to approve this application, would you agree to all of those?
Yes, we absolutely would.
Okay. I'm a little leery of this. You look at some of the other properties around here and, this was upscaled for a reason. And, now there's a number of other properties could be at least subdivided, maybe even more is what it boils down to. So
I agree. The only difference between some of those lots and this lot is its own separate tax map number. Those other lots are one full tax map number that would have to actually be subdivided and not recreated.
Correct.
The big thing.
Just makes me a little nervous, and I just lots. I know there's some small lots here, but a lot of the lots are much bigger and stuff too. So, all right. Any other questions from the board? All right. So we have nobody on this application either. We're going to close the hearing, reserve decision. We're going to keep the record open for 1 week because we are doing these virtual, and you guys will get the decision in the mail.
Thank you so much.
You got it.
Thank you.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, if we can move on to the remainder of the agenda, unless the board had anything to review.
No, I'm good. I think. Anybody else need anything?
I'm good.
First item is a request for an extension of time on 19-195. This property is located in Lindenhurst. It's requesting the first extension of time.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve application 19-195 with the first extension of time for 6 months.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on, the next application is P&P Motors. That is adjourned until June 17th. Novak Motors continues to be on hold. There is correspondence in the board packet from Brian Sinsaba, counsel. He's advising the board that a revised site plan regarding parking is going to be submitted, and it has to go to the planning board first. So Brian, did you have anything else to add to that? It's pretty self-explanatory in council's letter to the board.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add. He's gonna.
Okay.
he's
So that's
working on it, but-
correspondence number 2. So that'll continue to hold, waiting for them to submit that modified site plan. Moving on to the next item, it's the application of John Forgione, 21-024. Mr. Forgione has visited several offices in town, and his last visit was with Kate Shreve, and I believe that was productive in explaining what needs to happen for Mr. Forgione to have his application moved forward. So we will continue to hold, allowing him to bring his converted garage into compliance. The next application is 21-023 De Silva Automotive. That continues to hold pending a revised parking plan, and Brian continues to try
Yeah.
to ask him to do so.
Yeah, we're making some progress.
Moving on to the next application, 21-033 Mary Beth Wiles. We do have new plans just recently received on this, so planning needs some time to review them and prepare an updated memo for the board. So that will continue to be held as well. Moving on to 21-046A and 21-046B. There's correspondence for the board. It's number 7. It's a memo from Kate Shreve advising of proposed changes to the plans that were submitted. That memo advises that variance number 3 on lot 1 would now be deleted. That was diminished front yard setback from 30 to 23.1 on County Line Road with a 2-foot overhang and chimney encroachments. The revised plans have been submitted to no longer require that variance. So the board will recall there was a lot of neighbor comments on this division. So whatever the board's prerogative is, but at this point, we may wish to at least amend the application as per Kate's memo.
I'll make a motion to amend application 21-046. This is on the A lot, right? Lot 1, yeah.
Correct.
To,
As per Kate's memo.
as per Kate's memo. Thanks.
Second. Favor, aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Gwen, let me ask you about this application. You know, how do you feel about this with it being amended?
Dolores?
Dolores?
Oh. Yes, Mickey, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You call me Gwen, it's okay.
That's why. No wonder.
I'm not happy with it at all, but if the board wants to move it along, you know, I'm still not happy with it. I'm not gonna vote against it, I'm just not voting for it.
You're gonna abstain. Okay, do you want to hold it another week, or that's gonna be, where you're gonna stand? Nothing's gonna change?
Nothing's gonna change.
Okay. Any other comments from the board on this?
If you do move it, it will need a neg deck.
Okay. All right.
Would
I'll
the
make
board
the-
at least like to be able to take a look at the revised plans?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
yeah, let's do that, and then we'll take a look at that. Okay.
Okay.
Moving on to the next page of the agenda, the application is 20-135 Melchior Sansone. There's correspondence in the board's packet. It's item number 6. It's from a neighbor supporting the application. I would also defer to Brian, as the board will recall, they were quite insistent on having the height amended on this proposed application. And Brian, I think you've heard from Kelly Bennett that she's trying to do so.
Yeah, I believe she's trying to conform with the height. I think she's working with her client. That's the last I heard, but we haven't seen any formal resubmission.
Okay, so I guess we'll just hold this then, because we need to get that height down.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to page 11. We're on application 21-055. This property is located in West Babylon. If the board chooses to approve the application, planning recommends a condition the front porch not be further enclosed.
I make a motion to approve application number 21-055 with the condition that the front porch not be further enclosed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next application is 21-057. This property is located in Lindenhurst. Planning had no recommendations, had no recommended conditions.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve application 21-057.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're on page 12. The next application is 21-049. This property is located in Wheatley Heights, and planning has no recommended condition.
I'll make a motion to
21-049.
approve application 21-049.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next application is 21-058. This property is located in North Babylon. Planning has no recommended condition.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve application 21-058.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next application is 21-059. This property is located in Copeg. Planning is recommended, if approved, it be approved with a condition the second-story deck not be further enclosed from above or below.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve application 21-059 with the condition that the second-story deck not be further enclosed from above or below.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next application is 21-056. This property is located in Amityville, and planning had no recommended conditions.
Are we waiting on planning board on this? Or?
Whatever you guys want to do. The planning board should be finishing
Waiting
up.
for planning, right?
I believe planning will be making a decision, within the next week or so. I believe last I spoke with Matt, they had outstanding highway comments that have been submitted and they're just awaiting minor review.
So nothing that should affect the variance?
No, shouldn't.
Nope, absolutely nothing that's going to affect the current site plan or variances to an extent that would, drastically change anyone's understanding.
Right.
Okay. You go with this, Dolores?
Oh, yeah.
Anything? Hey, this is a really great thing for you.
Oh, yeah. It's gonna be a beautiful thing when it's finished.
Yeah, it is. That property's been vacant for a long time there, so that's great.
Took a while, but hey,
Be good for the community.
it's where it'll wake the community up, that's for sure.
Okay, you're on.
Okay, do you want me to,
Okay, want to make a motion to approve?
Yeah, okay. Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve application number 21056 Crossroads Shopping Center on Albany Avenue and Great Neck Road.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Next application is 21-054. This property is located in Copeg. This will also need a negative declaration. If the board is satisfied that the proposed construction is in line with the existing phase 1 and that the applicant has provided sufficient parking, I don't believe there are any recommended conditions or covenants with this.
No, there's nothing, if we wanted to do what we've done in the past for other MRs with the den and attic components, but these are true 1-bedroom units with no extra rooms. And there's been a number of covenants for stormwater protection and everything like that imposed by the planning board and town board.
Do we get Suffolk County planning on this?
Yes, I'm sorry, that's number 5 in your correspondence.
Right, all right. This is finishing up that project down there, so.
And it needs a negative declaration.
So I make a motion to adopt a negative declaration for application 21-054. And I also make a
Go ahead. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, go ahead now.
I make a motion to approve application 21-054.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That brings us to 21-038. This property is located in West Babylon. The board will recall that this had a number of amendments at the last meeting. So if the board wishes to approve, it would be approved as amended. And planning is recommending a condition that the pool house not contain heating or plumbing and the front porch not be further enclosed.
Okay, I make a motion to approve application number 21-038 as amended with the conditions stated on the planning memo.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry, who seconded that?
Nick.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, that brings us to correspondence. So item number 1 is correspondence from a neighbor regarding application number 5 on tonight's agenda. Correspondence number 2 is the update from Brian Sinsaba regarding Novak Motors. Item number 3 is a public notice from the Village of Babylon advising this board that there are, I believe, 2 applications on their upcoming village hearing that are within 500 feet within the township of Babylon boundaries. Number 4 is an email from Ms. DeVito from Woodhull Expediting regarding application number 5. Number 5 is the Suffolk County Planning Report for the application just approved. Item number 6 is a neighbor of Melchior Sansone supporting the application. Number 7 is the memo from Kate Shreve having to do with the Dingle Bay amendments. And for the board's review are 3 sets of minutes, April 22nd, May 13th, and May 20th, all for review.
Okay.
That concludes your agenda.
I guess it's an hour for tonight.
Would anyone like to make a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hey, everyone.
Hi,
Good night.
everyone.
Hi.
Thank you,
Good night,
everyone.
everybody. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you,
All right,
Brian,
good night.
for running the
Good night,
meeting.
No
everyone.
problem.
Good
See
night,
you
all.
guys soon.
Night.
See you guys soon.
Thank you.
you guys soon.
Yes.
Hey, don't forget to invite me, huh?
All right, I won't. Check your email though. I'll see you guys one more time.
Have a good night.